What's going on, everybody? So we are back. We took a little extended period of time where we weren't doing anything, mostly because it was extremely cold outside. We had this weird week where it got to like 94 degrees, and then literally that weekend it snowed again. So one thing I want to do today is I've been wanting to test out the fuel cell, see if it's actually going to be able to, if the springs and everything will be able to hold 15 gallons. Now I don't have 15 gallons, but I have 12 gallons, which I think an extra 3 ain't gonna make that big of a difference. It's definitely gonna be heavier, but I don't think it's gonna make it compress anymore. The main thing we need to do is get all this crap off of here because like I said, it's been a long winter. We've stored some stuff on there, and yeah, that's one of the things I want to go ahead and knock out. Now I also did some other stuff during the winter time. I'm gonna show you that too. We are still waiting on the two things, or the three things. You got the two wastegates, blow-off valve, and then the fuel pressure regulator. It's not because they're back ordered, it's because I haven't ordered them yet. I saved up a bunch of money to go on vacation because it was a much needed thing to do. I hadn't been on one in, shoot, like 10 years, 15 years. So I finally took one. It was great, and but now the vacation is over, it is time to get back to work. And as you can see, I am in short sleeves. So that means that it is warm enough out here to get out here and not be cold anymore. So that being said, let's go ahead and get all this stuff off, and then we're going to we'll put this fuel in there. Yeah. Okay, so as you know, whenever I had set this in there, I put these springs down here because I didn't want the tank just sitting there resting on the thing, on the bed, vibrating. It's aluminum, and I could wear holes in it over time. So what I did was, like I said, I took, these are valve springs that I had removed from Earl heads when I put the dual valve springs in. I thought, why not repurpose them? So what we're going to do now is go ahead and put in some fuel. Let's see what happens. I've been curious about this all winter. Ooh, this will be the first time I put fuel in this thing. Oh man, I'm actually kind of excited. This means we're getting to that point that it's going to start, you know, driving here soon. So we'll put a little bit in here. We'll probably put this in here, and then we'll make sure some of the fittings at the bottom aren't leaking. You know, we don't want to be draining, leaking fuel down at the bottom. So, but we'll put this whole thing in there. I think we're going to be fine. I don't think it's going to flex anymore, though. Or not flex, but I don't think the springs are going to compress anymore. But I will be ordering a few of those parts that we need in the coming, or in next week. You know, I still have bills to pay, so. But yeah, next week I'll probably get the fuel pressure regulator. That way we can go ahead and test out the fuel pump, make sure everything's working properly. That way, and we'll have to get a few more fittings, but nothing major. I mean, it's just a few little things. And sorry for the wind if you hear it. I have a little sock on there, but it is crazy windy today. All right, so now this had about 6 gallons in it, roughly. I mean, not exact, but. All right, so the question is it leaking? Oh, wow, almost fell. Almost got more entertaining all of a sudden. All right. Oh, I see a fuel leak. Hang on. Yeah, we had some good steady streams coming out of that thing. Oh, you know what though? Come with me. Come with me. Okay, so we had a few leaks. As you can see, there's a bunch of fuel down there. So all that's nice and tightened down. I'm probably gonna get double the wrenches on there just to be sure. But the one thing I was wondering about is would it come all the way up here? And I mean, it's not going to, because it's got to come up over all that, those little humps. Yeah, it's not making it up to these fuel rails. It's got too much gravity in the way. So I think we're good when it comes to that. So I think we can go ahead and add in the rest. I mean, it hasn't compressed anymore. So yeah, let's go ahead and top her the rest of the way off. Okay, so as you can see, maybe not, yeah, it is basically topped off. I mean, there's only a little bit of space left. I mean, it's supposed to be a 15-gallon tank, but yeah. Question is do these move? No. Everything's still nice. They haven't compressed anymore. I think we're good. I think that's going to work out just fine. So now that that's nice and figured out, let's go ahead and go look up at the front. What's up, B? What's up, Lucy? They finally get to come out here and hang out because there ain't no freaking snow out there. You're just cute, ain't you? You're so cute. Well, she doesn't like cameras, do you? Nope, she doesn't. But anyways, so let's talk about what I did up here. Let me get this freaking box of Michael's crap out of the way real quick. There we go. Throw it on the ground. Wow, the thing is focus. There we go. Obviously, we know about the turbos. Got the fuel lines ran. So I bought these two kits, but they were like 24-inch or 36-inch lines. So this one was able to go from here down to there, but that one right there, the one that had to go from there over to here, just was not long enough. So I had to get another one that would be obviously along. I think this is like a 76 or I don't know. It's really freaking long. And then, so got that taken care of. So now we have oil going to it. The drain comes out. Obviously we saw that because we, cut out the power steering, which may or may not work. I'm not 100% sure yet. But if you look right there, there she is. All right, come on, focus. Yeah. So as you can see right there, I have an SF5 rated underdrive crank pulley. Excuse me. So you always want to have a nice SFI rated one. It's drag racing specs. So I got that taken care of. We still have to have a belt because I have to measure the belt. I thought I had one that was the right size, but when I measured it for the other pulley, the stock pulley, which this one is 25% smaller. So it was just a little bit too big. So got to get a new one of those. Still got to get the stuff that we talked about. Not going to go back over that. But if you remember all the mess of power wires that were back here, had some going to this old terminal right here. But I went ahead and cleaned up all of it and put in this nice, beautiful here terminal block so that there's no risk of fire or anything like that. Nothing's going to come loose. I see there's some fuel dripping right there. So we are going to go ahead. Yep, I see some fuel dripping. So let's go ahead and tighten up those because I thought those were nice and tight. Okay, got all of those fuel leaks taken care of. I hope so. My garage, it smells so much like fuel now that it's ridiculous. So yeah, we just got to rehook this line back up, but that's nothing major. It just goes to the back of the fuel rail. I'm not too overly concerned with that. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do that now. With my luck, I'll forget it. So there we go. And we'll go ahead and tighten this down. Alright. Let's see. What did I do with the wrenches? I took them over there. It's like, you know how it is. You take some tools over to do something, and then you end up leaving them over there, and then you need them at the other location, and you can't get them because, well, you can get them. You just gotta walk back over there to get them. Yeah, I do that so much. Alright, so I think it's 15/16. I have found that the standard wrenches tend to fit these things pretty well. If you can get it just right, or well, you can get it on there. Hold on, gotta use two hands. So for those of you that are wondering about this fuel system that haven't seen the other videos, go ahead and explain it to you real quick. I have the Aeromotive 1000, or A1000, blah blah blah, words are hard, in the back there, back in underneath the bed, and it runs a 10 AN line all the way up here to this wide distribution fitting, and then coming out of that wide distribution fitting is 2 8A lines that run up and go into the backs of the fuel rails. And you're probably saying, well, why haven't you put the fuel pressure regulator in line right there? Well, because the fuel pressure regulator is going to go after the fuel rails. That is what Aeromotive recommends, and that's what we're going to do. So that's the reason why these are just sitting here and they're not actually, you know, there's no lines coming off, because I still got to get that fuel pressure regulator like we've talked about. And that's going to be the next thing I purchase. It's like $300 though, because I want one. The reason why I'm taking so long and it's so expensive is that I have to have one that has 2 8AN inlets, or at least a 10AN, 2 10AN inlets, and then an 8AN going out, because there's an 8AN return line right here. And so as you can see, it is the PTFE. So we will be running E85 at some point. So we gotta basically, yeah, once we get the fuel pressure regulator, we gotta figure out where we can put it though too, because NHRA standards say you cannot put it on the firewall. So that means we're going to have to find a new place. Now, I thought about over here, but then the exhaust is going to run out and might go down that way. I don't know where exactly it's going to go yet, but it might be in the way over here. And then over here, it's the same thing. The exhaust is going to go out and do its thing. The fender will be going back on, but yeah, like I said, that's still an issue that we're going to have to, future Patrick's going to figure that one out whenever he gets the fuel pressure regulator. Now, I've seen people put them up front, but I mean, where are we going to put it up front? I mean, we could probably, I mean, I thought about putting it on right here, just having it sit like right here, something like that, but still, it's pretty close to the, still pretty close to right here if I mount it right here. So, yeah, still got to figure that part out. And I mean, if I run no hood, then I could just mount it onto like one of these studs right here and have it sitting like right up here, but still right there, that seems kind of crazy. And then one of the other options was maybe putting it like right here on the fuel rail, like right above it. So then, but then it's a question of, will I be able to access it? So I don't know exactly the mounting that it's going to come with, but I got, it's another Aeromotive, it's an Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator as well. So got stuff in there. I don't want that going into the engine. So we gotta figure out where the heck that's gonna go. I just don't know exactly yet, because there's not a whole lot of space up in here. And I'm kind of hoping I win one of those turbos from Cletus, because could you imagine just changing all this over to just a single turbo? Because that would be fun. All I'd have to do is just run one line from right here down, under, or somewhere over this way, and put the turbos right here. I likely won't be winning that, but hopefully one of you guys will. That'd be cool. Let me know if you do. I mean, I'll hear your name on the thing, so if you do, that'd be awesome. Ooh, see, I also need to get a bead roller too, because as you can see, this just kind of goes right up in here, and under boost, that is no bueno. That is just going to pop right off. Even though we will be at first running just spring and gate pressure, still that would be enough. Yeah, because I can, even with it clamped down, you can see the play that it has in it right there. It's going to be a problem, and I'm going to go ahead. The bead roller's like 150 bucks. So, and I need to get a bandsaw too, because look at that. Look at that cut. That is beautiful. That is all done by hand cut. So, and you've already seen the twin horn piece that's going to go right here, which is this piece right here. Now this, I still have to figure out where the blow-off valve is going to go and the temp sensor. So there's going to be I have to have the intake air temp sensor somewhere in here. And I've been thinking, like, I don't really want to put it, I don't know if I want to put it like underneath down here. Because I mean, I'm thinking I might put the blow-off valve right here. And then, or, because I mean, I could go on the side over here, but it's just, I don't know. Well, let's see. I know how big it's going to be. It's going to be a tile, just like the BMW's got. It's going to be one of those. I really like those tiles. They work really good. I've never had an issue with the one on the BMW, so I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with it on this one as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So we got a few things we still got to square away. Like they always say, the last 10% or the last 20% takes 80% of the time, and that's true. So one of the other things that I did, if you recall, I had actually had one of those TH400 universal flexible transmission dipsticks. Well, the problem was it sucked so bad. I know the TH400 and the 4L80 are very similar, and it fit. Everything fit, but it was garbage. Like, the moment I went to go put the dang dipstick back in there, it hit something near the transmission on just the line itself, and it was garbage. So if you're going to get one, just go ahead and spend the extra money, or you do like I did. And I have a 1/2-inch pipe bender, and I took the original one, and I did some little tweaking. I did some little bends and everything like that to make sure that it would clear everything. And it's way over here. It's nice and out of the way of the exhaust, so it should be good. I mean, it still has to be. I'm gonna put some mounts on it so that it stays in place and it's not gonna possibly pop out whenever I'm driving. But other than that, it should do good. And I still got to get these right here, the flanges to run the exhaust out. I'm not 100% sold on the turbos being necessarily right here at this moment, because the thing is like, do I run them out, and then I could run them out, go this way, and then maybe turn them up, or I could possibly go down that way. But as you can see, that hole, you can't see, it is dark down there. Let's see if I can give you some light in there. So if you see, that's not really a good way to go. There's a lot of stuff in that way. So I don't know yet. I could go down right along right there and then go back. The headers went through there at one point, the long tubes that I had. But the problem with that is that the tires would always hit. But if I went with some skinnies up front, then they'll probably still hit. Honestly, it'll probably still hit. So I still got to figure that out. The exhaust, I might just run it and dump it out the hood. I was kind of hoping to possibly run it down that way, and maybe like for, if I was driving it around, I could have like some mufflers on there or some cats so they didn't get in trouble around here. But it is what it is. So we'll have to see what we're going to do with that when that time comes. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot left to do with Earl. It's like I said, it's just that small things. And I might go ahead and get a better alternator too, because this one, it sat outside for a little bit in the snow, and I'm not 100% sure it's going to work again. So I might go ahead and upgrade the alternator. Then again, I might just go ahead. I might also get a new alternator bracket and everything, because this one right here is kind of big and bulky. But the problem is if I go with, say, like the car one, then I got to change out everything on the front. I got to change out the water pump. I got to change out the crank pulley that I just bought. So I think what I'm going to do is stick with the truck accessories, just because of the fact that that down there is the truck pulley size, and I don't want to have to do all that. And I got space. I got plenty of space. With the radiator being recessed up inside there, it's, there's plenty of space in there. So I'm not too worried about that. And one other thing that we still haven't done, we still gotta get that steering shaft. As you can see, it is not in place. But the problem is I'm gonna have to pull this off again and hammer that down some more. And I have to get that. I'm gonna get the Blackheart, the Hooker Blackheart steering S10 LS swap steering shaft. It's like $100 and some. That's not too bad. And then again, I might also go ahead and pick up one of those Jeep Cherokee XJ steering shafts. They're supposed to work as well, and they're a little bit more, they're a little smaller than, say, now I gotta find that. Oh yeah, here it is. This dirty freaking garage. So this is the original one, and so focus, come on. There we go. So as you can see, it is fairly bulky on the top right here. And that is the end that goes up there near the headers. And so all of this hits, every last bit of it. And then this right here, it was really tough to get this thing to compress it. It's really old. I mean, 600,000 miles on the steering shaft. So we're not worried about that no more. But that's really about everything that's going to go into today's video. Mainly, I wanted to see about that, and I fixed a bunch of fuel leaks. But yeah. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this video. I know it's not a lot to the video, but it was more for those people that are diehards, and just letting people know what was going on, that were really interested in what Earl's doing. I know it's not going to get a lot of views, but it's not about the views, So, if you want to, you can hit that like, you can hit the subscribe button, But you know, I don't usually don't say that because you're going to do it if you're going to do it. I mean, me saying it's not going to make a difference. So I'll see you guys on the next one, and hopefully on the next one we'll have more parts to do, like blow-off valves, wastegates, maybe a fuel pressure regulator. So see you guys next time.